Hello and welcome back to the channel, and bloody hell, I'll tell you what, this lockdown carry-on is forcing me to actually get off my arse and do stuff. And do stuff we shall, as we're going to do something that we've never done on this channel but has been well overdue, and that is a football manager save. And we're going to do it with Aston Villa of all teams. Now there is a method to the madness. Now we have chosen Aston Villa for this because we want to take a team that has a big history and has fallen off the ladder somewhat, and we want to get them back to their glory days. And I am the man to do that, because Dean Smith, who did you ever beat? I think you'll find won the Prem with Port Vale in FM12, so those are my credentials. What have you ever won? So these are the leagues that we generally play with. We play the English, the French, the German, the Italian and the Spanish. I would add more, but you know, we want their game to run at a reasonably decent. I've got a reasonably decent setup here, but you know, want to get this to run as nice as possible. The only thing that I tick of the advanced options is to disable player attribute masking, because it's a real pain in the arse. Can't be bothered with that. And there he is. What a magnificent specimen. Oh, need to change that tie colour. Yeah, so we're just going to use that's the wrong age. I'm 29 now. But anyway, we're going to use the my general manager that I use for everything that I have. I obviously have a couple of personal saves on here, but it's all, so we're just going to use that just to save time. So right, we'll go to the appearance. I did generate a 3D model, and this is what it gave me. So I guess it's as close as I can get to what I actually look like. But there you go. What was I going to change? I was going to change the colour of my tie. That's what I was going to do, to a whatever this colour is, as close as I can get to that. God, it's like a dark, purpley pink colour. That maybe I'll change it at a later date, but that actually doesn't look too bad. Managerial style, yes, blah blah blah. I'm going to be an international footballer. Oh yes, what Northern Ireland would give for my footballing prowess, genius, and various other lies. So yeah, I generally don't really touch this stuff, but we shall confirm. We would not like to add additional managers. We shall bloody start playing with Aston Villa. There we go. Aston Villa today confirmed the appointment of me as the club's new manager. Eyebrows have said to have been raised. I wonder why. Is it because they've signed someone who's not an actual football manager? But there you go. Yep. Once again, we have picked Aston Villa because, like I said, we want to get a club back to their glory days. Aston Villa, former champions of Europe, which is mad, considering. But also, I never usually pick teams that are in the Premier League to start with. I usually like to do like a sort of take someone from League 2 and work my way through the system. And I always do a save with my hometown team, which is Coleraine. This year, I haven't done one with Newcastle this year. I've avoided Newcastle altogether. Bloody hell. Maybe this would have been the right year, considering the management. But anyway, we've chosen Aston Villa. Those are the reasons why we've picked Aston Villa. And I'm tired of justifying why, so let's just crack on. What do they want us to do? Media prediction is 18th. Oh yeah, John Terry is my assistant manager. John Terry is working for me. Suck on that. Everything you've done in the game and you're working for me. Jesus Christ. Yep, there you go. European champions 1982. They've won the the first division as it would have been. Last time they won it was 1981. European Super Cup, FA Cup. There you go. If we can win a trophy, I'll be happy enough. Finished 5th last season, got through up via the playoffs. So let's crack on through. Of course, we have the latest update. So we have all of the January signings, such as Samata. Here's all our loan obligations. We've got Pepe Reina in, obviously. Drinkwater's out. Oh, we've got him on loan. That's right. So yeah, blah blah blah. We'll get more into the squad in a minute or three. But here is the club vision for the season. Play attacking football. I generally do. Don't sign in over 28. Sign players to sell for a profit, work within the budget. They want us to finish mid-table and get to the 5th round of the FA Cup and the 4th round of the Carabao Cup. I'm sure we could do that. That doesn't seem totally unreasonable. What do they want by the end of the 23-24 season? To become self-sustainable and maintain a Premier Division top half finish. I'm sure we could do that. And if we can throw in an FA Cup or a League Cup into the mix, then why the bloody hell not? The first thing, one of the first things I do whenever I start a new Football Manager game is to set up my tactics. I normally play the same tactics for pretty much every team until it starts to go horribly wrong, and then I panic and do something out of my comfort zone, but we will go with the Gegenpress, and we'll change our formation. That is the formation I always play. God, it's as if they knew. So we'll confirm that. Want to change a few things though. We're going to drop defensive line down a smidge, lower the line of engagement. Prevent short, yep, that seems fine to me. In transition, we want to, when possession is home, we want to counter press. No, do I want to regroup? Yes, I want to regroup. Because the thing is as well with Aston Villa, they're a newly promoted side, so I think that for some reason makes it a bit more of a challenge. In Football Manager, attacking with, we want to, fairly, well not fairly, no, we'll go back to fairly narrow. Work the ball into the box, and tempo, go for a higher tempo, and standard passing. There we go, we've set all that up. This is just essentially spreadsheets with colours, which suits me down to the bloody ground. So there we go, that is our tactics all sorted out. Now another thing I like to do immediately off the bat is to look at staff and say, Jesus Christ, we're pretty bad in regards to our coaches. So we need to do some serious jiggery pokery in regards to coaches. I might need to hire a few more. But what do we need? We need a defensive coach quite badly. We need a technical coach quite badly. So we only have 3 spaces, but we will make the priority. We have found a potential candidate as our defensive coach. 18 defending. He's got decent all-round stats, so he can fill in a couple of places. Ivan Cordoba, former Inter Milan defender, come to the Midlands. Sure, leave sunny Colombia and come to the Midlands. I'm sure it's lovely. I don't know. I've been to Wolverhampton once, and it was miserable, truth be told. This is what I love about Football Manager, man. It's mental. Dennis Bergkamp, we have offered a contract to come in and be our technical coach. Even though he's done as an assistant manager, he has accepted the role as a coach. Look at the great all-round stats that he can fill in a number of coaching roles, but primarily be our technical coach. So there we go. We've got Cordoba and Bergkamp, hopefully both going to come in. Right, so now we're finally going to get into the important stuff. Since we are in a transfer window, and we have, how much do we have actually? We've got 10 million to spend. That's not a lot, and a 36 grand a week wage budget, but I'm sure there's a lot of sort of dead wood that we can look to move on and make a quid or two. Tom Heaton and Pepe Reina. Jed Steer is there as well. Valued at 7 million quid. Are you mental? Alright, Nyland's also there. We do not need 4 goalkeepers. We really don't. Even though Reina, I know, is in on loan. We've got Kalinic as well. Who's, Jesus Christ, we've got quite a few keepers. Heaton, I imagine, is the most valuable, 12.75. Reina is 800k. Jesus. Realistically, Nyland, I think, is going to be my cup keeper. Steer, we could possibly look to move on. So we're going to offer Jed Steer out. He doesn't have any real interest in moving to another club. He's only just signed a new contract. Balls. Well, Nyland, by process of elimination, it may have to be you, son. Preferred to stay at Aston Villa, but he's opening. Right, that's grand, because sometimes they get really fussy if you offer them out. We'll offer him out for about 7 million quid and see how we get on with that for Nyland. Now, who else do we have in the first team, anyway? And where do we need to improve? We need to improve all over the bloody gaff. Borja Baston, I would love to sell you immediately, but alas. Jack Grealish, wanted by Chelsea. Imagine my surprise. Henry Lansbury, wanted by Bristol City. He's already transfer listed. How much is he worth? 6.75 million. Henry Lansbury. Well, if he's already listed, then he'll have no issue with us offering him to a club. So we will 5 million quid. If I can get that for him, I'll be happy enough. And of course, the first thing that you do whenever you're looking for new players is you check the transfer list to see if there's anyone going dirt cheap and if there's anyone of any real quality. Not really. I suppose we could filter that by who's interested in transferring to us. Tom Cleverley, no thank you. Wilshere, no, I'd like someone who can play more than 3 games in the season, thank you very much. No one really is jumping out at me at the minute. Right, we have a load of loan offers for a bunch of our under-23 players. Who wants Dominic Raven? Fringe player, so they're all regular starter at Oldham. Tell you what, we'll just accept all of those. As much as I would like to go to Oldham to get some regular football. Indiana Vasilev, that's a hell of a name. Fringe player, a lot of fringe player, one regular starter at Southend. But tell you what, we'll just accept all of these. Yes. And Keenan Davis is going to be important regular squad player. Yep, you know what, he'll get some decent game time, so we'll accept all of those. Introduce himself to the squad. Right, let's do that. Hello everyone, I want to take this opportunity to introduce myself as the new Aston Villa manager. Right, I strongly believe there's enough. Yeah, I think that one's fine. Oh Jesus, a bit more ambition than that. That's fine, good. She aiming to finish in mid-table. Right, there we go. We've sort of won everybody around. That's good. That's good that they wanted that they're ambitious. That's grand. Right, so we just had our press conference. The generic one, whenever you sign for a new club, you meet the press and run through all the usual guff. We've also had our inter-squad friendly against the under-23s. Won that by 4-1. El Ghazi, Grealish, Wesley, and Baston scored for us. And Indiana Vasilev, my boy, scored for the under-23s. That'll do his chances of getting some regular football no harm. Okay, Nyland is not viable. Transfer list player, blah blah blah. Apparently Al Ali are interested in Nyland. Lansbury has failed to attract any offers, so we'll tell you what, Nyland. We will offer you out again, but we'll lower your price down to about 5 million. At this point, it's just trying to get any cash in that we can. Lansbury will offer you back out again. We'll drop you down to around 3.5. There we go. Huzzah! Ivan Cordoba has agreed to terms to be our defensive coach. He's going to come in for 3.5 grand a week. That's not bad. Not bad money if you can get it. So Ivan Cordoba, you're going to be technically our first signing of this save. In you come, son. Happy days. More good news is Dennis Bergkamp is going to seal his move to Aston Villa. Christ, could you imagine if this was like 1999? The place would go mental. To be fair, he could probably, still get in our starting lineup. That's how good he was, and I assume that's how good he still is. But Dennis Bergkamp is going to pass that knowledge on to our squad, to a new generation of superstars, as he is going to come to Aston Villa to be our we've brought him in to be our technical coach, but he's going to improve the standard of the coaching team tenfold. As Dennis Bergkamp, you are in. Oh, I forgot about this lad, Louis Barry, the lad who went from, was it West Brom? Yeah, to Barcelona. And then Aston Villa signed him, and we have him. I completely forgot that he was a thing. He's going to sign his first 3-year professional contract when he turns 17 in June of next year. So, yeah, we've got a lad who is very highly rated, and we've got him on an absolute pittance. So maybe we might see some of him going forward. But yeah, completely forgot about him. And there we go. We have found resolution to where Keenan Davis is going to go. He's going to go to QPR for the season as a squad player. So he's playing at a high level and he might get some game time. So we'll compile match reports on him to keep track of his progress. And Dominic Revan is going to go to Mansfield as an important player. That's what I like to see. Young lads getting a lot of first team football, so we'll accept that and compile match reports on him as well, just to keep an eye on how he's developing. And the third of our youngsters to head out on loan is Indiana Vasilev, is going to Coventry on loan as an important player. So once again we'll accept that and compile match reports, because I want to see how all these young lads are getting on and make sure that they're developing in the way that we would want. Now that we've let a few players go, right enough they are the under 23, so it's not overly important. We're going to look to try and bring someone in with our first signing of this save, Christopher Ayer, who is an absolute beast, and who I used to sign all the time back in previous Football Managers when you could get him for you could get him for bugger all, essentially. Now he's valued at 8 million quid. He's wanted by Leicester, so if we're going to move for him, we're going to have to move quickly. We only have 10 million quid to spend. So we're going to be cheeky as bedand. We'll offer 6 million. And we're going to add a player, actually. Who do we have who's transfer listed at the minute? I will offer them Henry Lansbury plus 6 million quid as a... it's valued at 8. Lansbury's more than that, so we'll drop that down to 5. 5 million plus Henry Lansbury. This could work out quite nicely for everyone, so we shall suggest these terms. They're probably going to tell me to go and fornicate myself. They believe the offer is unacceptable. Right, we'll bump it up to 6, make another offer and see what they say, but I'm not overly hopeful. Kablam! Have some of that, Partisan. Wesley gets the goal in a 1-0 friendly win over Partizan. So that's good. Let's get ourselves into a winning mentality. Revan, did he play? He had a quiet game. And Keenan Davis came off the bench to show some glimpses of quality. And just as we suspected, Celtic have told us to take a long walk off a short plank in regards to our offer for Christopher Ajer. So tell you what, we'll cancel that for now. And that's where we're going to leave this first episode, I reckon. We've played our first pre-season friendly. We've got all the admin out of the way. So now it should just be a straight road onto the first game of the season, which is against, who have we got on the opening day? West Ham, away. Not the easiest of starts, but then again, you know, we may pull up some trees and upset apple carts and various other cliches. But we have West Ham on the opening day, so what we're going to do is I'm going to sift through time, and I'm going to get through all of the pre-season friendlies, look to make some signings, and see what happens. In the meantime, leave your suggestions for signings in the comment section below. Keep in mind, I only have 10 million quid, so not a great deal. So if you have any sort of cheap wonder kids that we could that you could point me in the direction of, that would be infinitely terrific. But until then, thank you so much for watching this, the very first episode of the very first Football Manager save that we've done on this channel. Keep in mind, I've been playing this game since what? I was late to the Football Manager party. The first one I played was Football Manager 2008, and have been funding Sports Interactive every year since. So it's good to finally get one started and get one on the channel. And hopefully, it'll be a good laugh, because they generally are, but I imagine many things in this room will be thrown and smashed out of general frustration. But we'll find that, but it'll be a fun journey when we'll go on one together. So, thank you so much again for watching. If you did enjoy this episode, do remember to hit that like button, do hit that subscribe button, and turn the notifications on. And have a look through the rest of the channel. You'll definitely find something you'll enjoy. But until then, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you as always in the next one.